Ici, on dit qu'on a le sens du service. Et c'est tout un métier pour servir. C'est tout faire pour vous être utile au quotidien. Et vous fournir de l'énergie sous toutes ses formes. Partout, tout le temps, sur tout le continent.
Un nouveau jour s'est levé, un continent s'est révélé, pour nous, pour eux, pour lui, pour elle. L'heure est venue de dévoiler une nouvelle réalité. Vivons le jour, vivons la nuit, voyons le monde à l'infini, rêvons d'avenir, de devenir, ce que l'on souhaite, où que l'on souhaite. Partageons nos passions, écrivons nos succès, exprimons tout ce que l'on est. Avançons sans limite, puisque le monde est là, et qu'il nous ouvre les bras.
Good evening and welcome. The action continues in the under-17 at CAF Total Energies Cup of Nations in Casablanca with the third game of the day as South Africa take on Egypt in Group B, billed as the Group of Death, featuring three former champions, while South Africa finished runners-up in 2015. Burkina Faso made a winning start earlier on today, beating Cameroon 2-1, and both South Africa and Egypt are keen to begin well in what promises to be a tightly contested group. Well, this meeting between South Africa and Egypt is one of three at CAF tournaments in 2025. They've also been paired together in the group stage of the Total Energies CAF Under-20 AFCON, which will be hosted by Egypt towards the end of April, as well as at the men's senior Total CAF AFCON in Morocco that kicks off at the end of 2025. Now, Egypt qualified as the winners of the North Zone qualifiers, joining Morocco, the host, and Tunisia, who also made it to the finals. South Africa, they finished third in the COSAFA Championship and initially missed out behind Zambia and Angola, but were handed a lifeline when CAF expanded the field from 12 to 16 teams earlier this year. And one of the extra places was handed it to the South Africans. And so here they are in Morocco, making their fifth appearance at the age-level tournaments. Their best performance came in 2015 when they were beaten in the final by Mali. They have reached the knockout rounds in 3 of their 4 previous appearances. They came fourth in 2005 and reached the quarterfinals at the last edition, before they were thrashed 5-0 by the eventual champions Senegal. Well, Ghana, Nigeria, Mali, Cameroon and Gambia, all 2-time champions of this competition. Senegal, the holders, after winning it for the first time, edging Morocco 2-1 in the final a couple of years ago. And it's also a return to the finals today for the coach of the South African under-17 team, Vedok Khumalo, who had helped his youngsters qualify for the 2021 edition. but they never actually took part, as that edition was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So he's delighted to have a second chance making an appearance with his young South African team. They have a tradition of making poor starts, yet to win any of their 4 openers.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
South Africa are taking on Egypt. Both of these teams making their bow at this year's CAF Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. The game earlier on here in Casablanca saw Burkina Faso make a winning start, getting the better of Cameroon by 2-1. Egypt, this is their 5th appearance as well, just like South Africa. The first though since 2011. And they have an excellent track record in their opening game. They have won all 4 of their past 4 appearances, hoping to keep that record intact this evening against South Africa.
السادات والسادة الرجاء الوقوف لترديد النشيد الوطني لجنوب افريقيا. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of South Africa. بنشر الأنثم of Egypt. والآن مع النشيد الوطني المصري.
First of 3 meetings between South Africa and Egypt at various versions of the Africa Cup of Nations this year. This the first of them in the under-17 tournaments that they will meet again in Egypt in the under-20s, and then for a third time in Morocco at the end of the year at senior level. And both of these young sides looking to get off to a winning start in Casablanca. Kebetle Morake starts in goal for South Africa. The captain, Bokamoso Mokakosi. And a name to keep an eye on, the number 10, Emil Witbooi. Had trials with Chelsea late last year. Vela Kumalo also works with the Kaiser Chiefs youngsters. He's had a time working as well previously with South Africa's under-20s. Leonidas Barbosa, today's referee. And there will be a couple of VAR officials keeping a watchful eye on things as well from the replay truck. Omar Abdelaziz, the Egyptian goalkeeper. Hamza El Degwi alongside Mohamed Bendari. Bilal Atia wears the armband for Egypt. Hamza Abdel Karim flanked by Ibrahim Al-Najawi and Anas Rushdie in the attack as Egypt make their return to this competition for the first time in 14 years. Bowed out in the group stage on their last appearance in 2011, hoping to fare far better. Almost a decade and a half on under the tutelage of former Egypt international Ahmad El Kass. Played at the 1990 FIFA World Cup as well as at 3 AFCONs in the 1990s. Former CAF Champions League winner with Zamalek 2 in 1996. So Burkina Faso getting things started with a victory over Cameroon earlier on. It's now time for South Africa and Egypt as they attempt to follow suit, picking up the 3 points to kick things off here. It's the Stade Larbi Zaouli. So away we go in Casablanca, which will play host to all but one of the 6 group stage games in this section. Cameroon against Egypt on match day 3 will take place in Mohammedia. All the games in the final round of matches kicking off at the same time in their respective groups. And an early opportunity here perhaps for South Africa. No surprise to see Witbooi putting the ball down. It's going to be swung in. And hooked back into the area. Might be an early chance here for Witbooi. Rounds the goalkeeper, looking to pull it back to a teammate, and it's turns home inside the first minute here. As a dream starts for South Africa. Simpili Mulondo giving his team the lead. It was Witbooi shows a great composure after rounding the Egyptian keeper Omar Abdelaziz, just to keep a cool head and pick out a teammate inside that crowded penalty area. And somehow he was able to work the ball through quite the crowd. No question that Witbooi was certainly onside. There's a calm finish as well from Mulondo. took his time to settle himself and just shrugged off a defender. Somehow managed to squeeze it past three Egyptians in close proximity. And here they come again, South Africa. This is Al Najawi for Egypt. Work back to Morake. Comes Abdelaziz. Slightly misjudged there by Lankeni. South Africa heavily relying on the academies of Mamelodi Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs and Cape Town City, providing the vast majority of the players in their squad for this tournament. What a start it's been for the Amajimbos. Less than 60 seconds on the clock, and Simpiwe Molondo giving them the game's first goal. Overlap being made here. And it's a dangerous looking ball in. Hassan Farid put it into a good area. Still have some defensive work to do here, South Africa. Pop back into the South Africa box, this time a diving header away. And that's been missed, and Al Najawi again clips it deep towards the far post, and they have the equalizer. It's Anas Roshdi who heads past Kiabetswe Morake. Oh, this has been a frenetic start. 2 goals in the opening 4 minutes, and we're back level at 1 apiece. They did not allow their heads to drop, the young Pharaohs. And Roshdi climbing highest at the far post, attacking the cross. As it was hung into the area by Al Najawi. Got up well above Sive Palmer. And powered the header beyond Morake. Just brushed the tips of his finger, Morake, but Paul was past him before he really reacted. Well, certainly no sign of either team just working their way into this match. They've taken the attack to one another right from kickoff, and as a result, it's on a piece with just 5 minutes on the clock. Velo Kumalo, the man in charge of this South African team, has previously worked with the under-20s as well. Coach of the Kaizer Chiefs youth team, Kumalo, relishing the opportunity to lead his youngsters into this competition after being denied 4 years ago by the COVID-19 pandemic, which forced the cancellation of that year's tournaments. Ahmed El Kass, the man who scored 23 times and 72 appearances at international level for Egypt, and it's a nice bit of play by Hamza Abdel Karim. And back comes South Africa, and Abdelaziz well out of his area, making the clearance. All but 2 of the 26 teenagers in the Egypt squad at home-based. A lot of them with either NP or Al Ahly. It's a decent-looking ball towards Matapo, but it's well defended by El Degri. Launched upfield, and it's knocked down by Abdel Karim. Drifting inside, looking for Abdel Karim. That's a clever layoff, and another opportunity to cross for Ahmad Farid. Not once, but twice. The Egyptians getting in the way of one another. Works forward, and it's well defended by Bandari. Mark him out. Oh, space here, but it's well read by Marake. Both goalkeepers displaying good judgments so far in terms of those balls behind the defence. Sahanajawi, who is brought down by Matapo. This was the opener with barely 50 seconds on the clock from Malondo. But Egypt hit back just 3 minutes later. Anas Roshdi heading home at the far post, and set piece here for Egypt. It's going to be taken by Mohamed El Shami. In towards the 6-yard box, and it's claimed easily by Marake, who looks to set Boloko on his way. But head towards Vitboy. Plays it back, and the strike from distance, always rising. Egypt felt that Vitboy was offside, but flag stayed down. But the two video assistant referees have been keeping a close look on things, just in case they were called into action there. Antari. Well, finally, this after a game that began at breakneck speed, things just settling down a little bit. Antari again. Abdelaziz, one of a couple of players attached to Zamalek in this Egypt squad. Now Kemal. Comes Vitboy once more. Put under pressure, but be relieved to have heard the referee's whistle there. Shabulu Zmeila. Zmeila lifting it forward once more. This time Aziz comes out to the edge of his area. Sliding to keep it in. He's able to pick out the goal scorer here. Roshdi looking for his second. Roshdi. And this is a good stop by Marake. As the captain, Bilal Attia, who fouled Anas Roshdi inside the South African box. This time though, Morocco was equal to it. Shami quickly closed down. Both of these teams will be back in action in 3 days' time. Shami with the throw-in looked to slip out of his hands. It was a high looping effort and the overhead kick, and what a goal that is! And Egypt, after falling behind inside a minute, now 2-1 to the good, and Anas Roshdi has done it again. A sensational finish from the youngster. Moreka was rooted to the spot as the ball nestled inside the far post. Korean did well to just keep the opportunity alive after that throw-in came in. An absolutely brilliant goal from Anas Roshdi. Right inside the far corner. Well beyond the reach of Morocco. It's been a sensational response from the young Pharaohs. Well, he'd had an opportunity just before Roshdi. That was something he rather created out of nothing. Magnificent acrobatic effort leading to a goal that's put Egypt 2-1 ahead. You get the feeling there are plenty more goals to come in this match. I saw 5 in the first game today. There's a slip there that could have proved costly for Egypt. Got away with it in the end. And Zambia, the COSAFA champions, sweeping aside Tanzania. 4-1 in Group A. And there were also 5 goals in the first game in Group A yesterday, as the hosts Morocco thrashed at Uganda 5-0. Okakosi. One back in South African territory by Egypt, and helped on to the scampering Farid. Loves to get forward down that right-hand side, Adam Farid. South Africa stunned by a double blow inflicted by Anas Roshdi. Could not have got off to a better start, the South Africans, but Egypt have hit back, and how. Well, this is a tournament that will offer 10 qualifying places at the Under-17 FIFA World Cup. The top 2 in each of the 4 groups, plus 2 more, which will be decided by a couple of playoffs involving all the third-place sides. And Vela Kumalo said that more important than anything is qualifying for the World Cup. Very much want to finish among the 10 teams that punched their tickets to that tournament, and this time it's Molondo looking for his second and an equalizer. Under 17 at World Cup will be played in Qatar in November of this year. Abdelaziz this time going long, and it's flicked on, but it rolls through towards Mokokosi. Morake. And a one by Kamal. Shami, and then flicked on by Adawi. Important interception there. Belted forward, and goalkeeper doesn't get there, and it's going to be a third for Egypt, and that's a disaster. Oh, but the flag has got up to cut short Hamza Abdelkarim's joy there. It was just a speculative clearance, and Ahmed El Kass isn't too sure about the decision. Let's have another look, and well, I wonder if this goal may end up standing. Goalkeeper was beaten to it by Abdelkarim, and hurt in the process. Well, for the time being, the decision was offside against Abdelkarim, but looking at the replay, I'm not sure that was actually the case. Just caught Tad on his heels, Morake, and Abdelkarim took full advantage, sneaking in just ahead of him. Just that slight moment's hesitation. Well, it's been quite a whirlwind at first, 19 plus minutes. Referee just listening to his earpiece as Rulani Mokwena, coach of Moroccan side Wydad Casablanca, helped organise a friendly for the young South Africans ahead of this tournament opener. And it is, as I suspected, going to be a third goal for Egypt, and Hamza Abdelkarim can celebrate finally. Well, they got off to a shocking start, Egypt. They have recovered and gone from strength to strength. Abdelkarim taking a gamble and handsomely rewarded. Getting on the end of this long, hopeful ball upfield is Morake. It's just ever so slightly hesitant, and that proved costly. Well, waited for the ball to come to him, then rather than attacking it right away. Abdelkarim saw that window of opportunity and has made it 3-1 to Egypt. Well, it's only been 20 minutes since the opening goal, but it feels a long time ago now. This is Fit Boy. Fit Boy still going. Eventually runs out of space. A 16-year-old Made history at the start of the month, becoming the youngest player to play for Cape Town City in South Africa's Premiership. Brought on in the second half of a 2-0 away loss to AmaZulu. Becoming the 9th youngest player to debut in South African football in the process. Now Egypt seemingly keen to make up for lost time. I think it last appeared at this competition in 2011. They do tend to be fast starters, 4 wins from their past 4 opening games. The exact opposite can be said of South Africa, who have never before won their tournament opener, 2 draws and 2 losses. Both of those draws were games in which they blew a 2-goal lead. They were ahead early on in this one, but now find themselves trailing by a couple of goals. This is Vitboy. That's on Kareem. Roshni. Now Jowie chests it down and just shrugs off the challenge like he wasn't even there from Malondo. As it poked away, just he was looking to pull the trigger. Mangani. This is better from South Africa. That's superbly defended by Roshdi. Not just a real threat going forward, but getting back as well to help out his defence. Just when it looked as if South Africa might have been able to prise open that back line. Clearance skewed into touch this time by Bandari. South Africa will take on Cameroon on Thursday. And just a few hours after that, Egypt will be up against Burkina Faso on match day 2 in Group B. And then these 2 teams have their 3rd group games on Sunday. And down he goes, and it's going to be a penalty. Sive Pama, who got himself forwards. Abdelaziz pleading his innocence. I'm not sure there was huge amounts of contact there. Let's have a look. I wonder if that might be reviewed by the 2 video assistant referees, because Abdelaziz seemed adamant that he didn't touch Palmer. Certainly for the moment the decision is going to stand, and it's Neo Boloko of Kaizer Chiefs who has the ball in his hand. So it is going to stand, the decision. The penalty being awarded, up steps Boloko. And he sends Abdelaziz the wrong way to cut the deficit in half. Well, no problems for either of these teams going forward so far, but Both looking vulnerable at the back, and Boloko punishing Abdelaziz after he brought down Palmer. Back come Egypt with Al Najawi. This is really end-to-end stuff. Adawi hangs in the cross, and Abdel Karim looking for his second. I've already seen one overhead kick from Rushdie. Down in midfield by Molondo. So a lovely turn from a Boloko. Fitboy, referee plays advantage, and ricochets across to Mlangeni. Mlangeni just breezes past Rushdie, and then decides to keep it in play, looking to pull it back rather than settle for the corner. Boy, Stevens. Just a clip there, Adam Farid. Not even half an hour gone in Casablanca. We've already had 5 goals.
We'll be playing here the rest defense all the night. Here, when we come back.
Our goals very much been the order of the day so far. Just not even full 4 games into the tournament. And we've had 18 of them to this point. 10 in Group A, 8 and counting now in Group B. Four games coming up tomorrow, including the holders who make their tournaments bout. Senegal taking on Gambia for Somalia. Up against Tunisia in Group C. And in Group D, it's Mali up against Angola. Cote d'Ivoire against the debutants, Central African Republic. This the 3rd goal, just that's indecision from Marake. Enabling Abdel Karim to beat him to that bouncing ball. All it takes, just that split-second decision, or indecision as it was in that case. Boloko. Finds Stevens. Boloko again. Here comes the shot from distance. It's a decent save by Abdelaziz. To quickly get to his feet and fall on the rebound too. Bogo Mlangeni testing the Egypt keeper there. It was might have taken a slight deflection, just making it a little bit more awkward for Abdelaziz, but he did well enough. The shot stopper. Mokokosi. This time Bentari able to cut it out. Forwards towards Abdul Karim, and it's Kokosi who tries to set his team away on the counter. Final rounds of games in at Group B on Sunday. South Africa taking on Burkina Faso at the same time as Egypt lock horns with Cameroon. Here's Al Najawi trying to hold off Matapo. Kamal. It was a good stop in the end by Marake. Flag belatedly going up against Rojdi. It's been a real thorn in this South African defence. Kamal's clip ball in, and this time he certainly was offside, Rojdi. Kokosi. Stevens to weave his way through the midfield. It's it back now, Stevens. Molondo. It's well shielded behind by Bentari, just getting across in front of Vitboy. Joined Jay-Z's Rock Nation Sports Agency last month, Emil Vitboy. An agency that also represents Real Madrid and Brazil star Vinicius Jr. and Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne, as well as the two-time Rugby World Cup winning Springbok duo of Sia Khaleesi and Cheslin Colby. Seen as one of South Africa's most promising prospects, Vitboy. Doesn't turn 17 until late August. I mentioned before he'd caught the eye of English Premier League side Chelsea. Had trials with the Blues towards the end of last year. Kokosi. Langeni. Tapo slipped, but was able to recover in time. Zumela. Kokosi. Palmer. That run forward that led to the penalty. It was a rash challenge by Abdelaziz. Even if there didn't appear to be a great amount of contact, always the risk you take as a goalkeeper. Throwing yourself at the feet of an attacker. Kokosi. A nudge in the back by Farid, and down goes Molondo, winning his side. Free kick here. Just under 10 minutes to go before half-time. Well, the keeper, entirely sure what he was doing there, almost got himself into a bit of bother. Nearly left the door ajar for the attacker. That's not the best of kicks upfield, but gets away with it. Look back to Marake. Zumela. attempt by Langeni. Vitboy, nice first touch, just pokes it inside, and Vitboy goes down again. This time, referee uninterested, and Marco Kosi getting forward from defence, causing problems for Egypt, and referee has just brought play to a halt here, presumably for that challenge on Vitboy in the Egypt box. Kamal didn't look to make much contact. I imagine stick with the referee's initial decision, but let's just see what happens here. Well, it's going to go and take a look at the pitch side monitor. Enough in it in the eyes of the two video assistant referees to ask Leonidas Barbosa to go and have another look. That's just the still shot. Did just step across the path of Vitboy, and that right leg was dangled out dangerously. Tried to get around it, Vitboy. It was a risky tackle. Well, they're going to have a second penalty here in this first half, I wonder. Well, there is contact between the left leg of Kamal and the trailing leg of Vitboy. What's the referee going to decide? It is going to be another penalty for South Africa, and the chance to get back at level. It's been a wild first half, and we're not done yet. Vitboy brought down by Omar Kamal. Just thrust his right leg out and made contact with Vitboy. Now Boloko tucked away the first spot kick. And he's placed the ball down again. And Boloko once more up against Abdelaziz. Boloko, and he beats Abdelaziz once more. Went the right way this time, the Egypt keeper, but he couldn't keep it out. And it's 3-all, as we not even at half time yet. Wasn't far away from it, Abdelaziz, but it was hit with enough precision and power. And I'm not sure if he got anything on it, just flashed beyond him. Broad smile on the face of Boloko. His second of this first half, both coming from the spot. I think it was a 2-1. I said that it'd be a surprise if there weren't plenty more goals in this game, and had 3 since then, still not even at the halfway point. It's going to be an interesting team talk for both of these coaches, as Abdelaziz this time out of his area to clear successfully. Zemela. Malondo. Zemela again. Now with Mariletse. Stevens. Vitboy. Pokes it through the legs of Omar Kamel, and is he going to be the first player booked? He is. Cynical tug of the shirt by Kamel. Just made sure that Vitboy wasn't going to escape. He gave away the second penalty. Omar Kamel. And he's been booked too. Stevens knocks it short, and it's Boloko. Cleared away. Trying to catch out Egypt there with a training ground routine. Villa Kumalo admitted in his pre-match interview just before kickoff they didn't know too much about this Egypt side, and they will have felt the same would apply in terms of how much Egypt would know about his team. So Kareem has been a real target man in this first half, and one goal to his name. Stevens. Now Shami sends it back to Abdelaziz. Well, it's been simply breathtaking stuff. As we head into the last of the opening 45 minutes here at Casablanca. A real goal fest so far. It's the Stade Alabi Zaouli. And Danny to Laziz. Should be a bit of time added on because been two VAR reviews. One for Egypt's third goal that initially was ruled out for offside, and then another for the awarding of South Africa's second penalty, which was not given at first. So 4 minutes from the fourth official's board. Here is Vitboy trying to dance his way beyond El Degri. And he wins his team a corner. Son of surprise Rulani, who spent much of his career in Scandinavia, returned to South Africa to play at Cape Town City, Mamelodi Sundowns and Cape Town Spurs. This time the corner played out towards the edge of the area. Doesn't come off on this occasion, and El Najawi is leading the counter for Egypt. Looks over to his left towards Roshdi. Well, that overhit the pass, but it's kept in play by Roshdi. Over the head of Abdel Karim as the cross comes in. Foul by Matapo. Farid the ball in. Not properly cleared yet. Shami. Well, it's a poor back pass by Al Shami. Can South Africa take the lead here right before half-time? It's squared to Vitboy. Vitboy, where's the keeper? And this time, he is blocked by Degui. Just a heavy touch made it that bit trickier for Vitboy. And so then around the goalkeeper and enabled Degui to get right in front of him. Now here is Abdul Karim. Abdul Karim closed down just in time. It's almost like watching a basketball game this first half, just back and forth from one end to another. I have to say, it's been a sensational viewing as a neutral. Not entirely sure the coaches will feel necessarily the same way, though. Monacosi. Aziz will grab it just inside his box. Adari. Pama let it drop, but able to fend off Rushdie. Mokakosi. Don't want to do anything silly in these final few seconds of this first half. South Africa doing really well to bounce back after scoring inside the first minute, but then conceding 3 goals as Egypt took a 2-goal advantage. Only to call themselves back at level with a couple of penalties converted by Neo Baloko. That's just about be the final act of this pulsating first half. Out to Rushdie. Puts his head down and tries to burst beyond Pama. Atia, the captain. Shami was his under-hit back pass that could have ended in disaster for Egypt. And there goes the whistle for half-time. It's 6 goals in this opening 45 minutes. South Africa taking an early lead before Egypt hit back with 3 goals without reply. That's a couple of penalties from Neo Baloko. Sends both teams into the break level at 3 goals apiece. And now Baloko twice beating Omar Abdelaziz from the spot. Simpiwe Molondo had given South Africa a perfect start with that first-minute goal. Egypt took command. A couple of strikes from Anas Rushdie, the second, a sensational overhead kick, and then Hamza Abdul Karim adding a third. South Africa turned things around. It's been a real treat for those present at the Stade Labizali here in Casablanca this evening. 3-3 at half-time between South Africa and Egypt, and only at the halfway stage with plenty more football to come in this one. South Africa are taking on Egypt. The group opener for both of these teams in a Group B. Atop the group of death, and Emil Witbooi, the 16-year-old sensation for South Africa, helping them take the lead early on, and keeping a cool head. And it was Simpiwe Molondo that was picked out by Witbooi, able to steer past a number of defenders to give them the first-minute lead. But back came Egypt. Just 3 minutes later, it was Anash Rosti climbing above his marker at the far post to head beyond Kebetswe Morake. And didn't have to wait long to add a second, and what a second it was. Clearance straight up into the air from Zimela, and Rosti with a brilliant overhead into the far corner. And just a hopeful clearance, really, more than anything. Slight indecision and hesitation from Morake, and Hamza Abdelkarim showed that predatory instinct. A young Egyptian at centre forward got there just ahead of the keeper, and then it tapped into the empty net. Goal was initially disallowed for offside, overturned after a final review, and then South Africa came back after that challenge by Abdelaziz. That's sent Palmer sprawling. And now Boloko tucking away the spot kick. And then they would have another penalty. As this time it was Witbooi brought down by Kemal. This one was looked over by the referee. But no penalty was initially given. Changed his mind after seeing the replay, and again it was Boloko. Same outcome, keeper a bit closer this time, but couldn't get a hand to it. And Zavelo Kamalo's men back level at 3-3. Well, if you're just joining us, you missed quite the first half. 6 goals in it. 3 for both South Africa and Egypt. South Africa scoring inside the first 60 seconds. Egypt came back with 3 goals without reply, but a couple of penalties tucked away by Eneo Baloko. Gave South Africa the perfect response as they called themselves back at level at 3 apiece. Well, it will be a hard push to have as much entertainment as we did in the first half, you would think, but here's hoping as we're back underway in Casablanca. Match day 1 in Group B of the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. Burkina Faso 2-1 winners earlier on in this group over Cameroon. And a matchup of 2 former champions. Egypt themselves won the competition on their debut in 1997. This is Selwyn Stevens on the attack. It's a clever ball forward now. Sive Pama. And that's an excellent clearance. The danger has yet to pass, though, Stevens. The shot from range sounded like he took a deflection, but it might just be a goal kick. Kahelo Mariletse. Again, Abdul Karim is winning almost everything aerially. Beating everyone, including the goalkeeper, in that first half. It's a long clearance forwards. And Abdul Karim got there ahead of Kebetswe Mourake to grab Egypt's third. So they look to be sitting pretty comfortable at that point, but South Africa came roaring back. Now Shami, now Roshdi, scorer of Egypt's first 2 goals in that opening half. Shami this time just throws it short, and it's rather flapped at by Mourake. This time he does get a hand to it as it's turned behind for a corner, but far from convincing initially when that cross was whipped in by Mohamed El Shami. Sort of flapped at it, and side-footed effort. Looked to be going wide from outside the area, but Mourake wasn't entirely certain. Deep corner towards the far post. It's hacked away by Mokokosi. Straight up into the air from Adawi. Clipped on towards Roshdi. Just cuts inside Pama all too easily, but his ball into the area was cut out, and eventually leads to a chance for El Shami. Radar not quite working there for the Egyptian left back. As a man who knew his way around the penalty area. 23 goals for his country. Ahmad El Kass played at the 1992, 1994 and 1996 Africa Cup of Nations, as well as the World Cup in Italy in 1990. Egypt had to wait 28 long years before returning. The 2018 edition in Russia. This is Abdul Karim. Certainly been a real handful for the South Africa defence, Hamza Abdul Karim. Unfortunately for Egypt, when they did get to the 2018 World Cup in Russia, they were without a fully fit Mohamed Salah, still recovering from an injury suffered in the UEFA Champions League, final defeat by Real Madrid, and ended up bowing out in the group stage. Without so much as a single point, finishing bottom of a section that included the hosts as well as Uruguay and Saudi Arabia. So Karim is a bit of discomfort. Certainly not a player they would want to lose based on how he performed in the first half, Abdul Karim. On the books of Al Ahly, a record 12-time African champions. Bidding for a third straight title in the CAF Champions League this season. Will actually be in action tomorrow against Sudan's Al Hilal in the first leg of their quarter-final, and that's a blatant handball by Matapo, and he's going to get away with just a yellow card. Completely misjudged it to be Matapo. See what the Egyptians feel about that decision. Lucky boy, Matapo. Nice for the time being. A couple of decisions were reversed in the first half. Courtesy of replays. Presumably this is going to be a shooting opportunity for Egypt, and it's blazed well over by Mohamed Bendari. South Africa to play out from the back. Abdul Karim with the foul on Zemela. Rides the challenge nicely. This is Vitboy. Abdul Karim. The first line of defence for Egypt. Atia towards Adawi, and Ajawi, who was the intended recipient. Morake. Well, unsurprisingly, haven't quite seen the same fireworks we had in that first half. Things just a bit more calm in this first 10 minutes of the second period. Shami towards the area, but easily volleyed away by Mokokosi. It's driven towards Vitboy, cut out by Bandari. Well, the top two teams in each group will go through to the quarterfinals, as well as locking up a place at the Under-17 FIFA World Cup in Qatar later this year. Well, the four teams that end third in their respective groups will head into a playoff for the remaining two tickets at the global showpiece. A decision to expand the field from 12 to 16 teams taken on earlier this year. And South Africa were one of the countries to benefit as a result, because they failed to qualify initially. Were one of the four hands as a lifeline after the field was expanded. This is Atia. Atia towards Abdul Karim, trying to get on the return pass. Atia, and he does, but he can't hit the target. Thumps the ground in frustration. Bilal Atia. Excellent link up with Abdul Karim. Now Degri. It's cut out by Mankeni. Stevens lifting it forwards and just over the head of Farid, but a good recovery challenge from Adam Farid. Stevens. All right, let's say, and that's going to roll through to Abdulaziz. Well, Shami. Coming up to the hour mark in Casablanca. May not be too long before we see the first substitution. Roshdi, Atia, Shami. Both these teams are eyeing the 3 points to get up and running. Roshdi swings it in towards the far post. Keeper stays on his line, spills it, and has been turned home. The flag is up over on the far side as Morake is rolling around inside his 6-yard box. A couple of the Egyptian players just gesturing towards the referee that he have another look. Let's have another look ourselves. Certainly didn't appear to be offside. It was, not sure it was ever in the grasp either of Marake. Didn't appear to be too much wrong there. Well, there's another goal here going to be awarded after a VAR review. Egypt, their third was initially chalked off for offside, which wasn't the case. Looks like offside is going to be a final decision. Perhaps it must have been when Roshdi initially received the ball. There was nothing wrong when he crossed it in. I think it stemmed from that phase of play just beforehand, though. So a bit of a let-off there for South Africa. Their keeper. That slipped from his grasp, but chipped over by Roshdi towards Atia. Be a throw-in for Egypt by the corner flag. There's confirmation that it was in fact Roshdi who was offside when he received the pass before delivering the cross. It was a forced home in the end by Omar Adawi, but celebration was cut short, and it's another ball in towards Abdul Karim, who's on the ground battling to keep the opportunity alive. Hammered forwards by Palmer. So one back as Stevens gets it down. Here from Palmer towards Kokosi, who's clattered by Abdul Karim, and what's the referee doing here? He's to check on the state of Sive Palmer. Just favouring the upper left arm and shoulder. Kokosi, as he took a heavy fall. Palmer receiving some medical attention. Averaging almost 5 goals a game in this tournament in its early stages. Surely that's a rate that can't be maintained. It's made for a thrilling start at the very least. It's a poor giveaway straight to Selwyn Stevens. Fit boy, fit boy, fit boy! And it's a sharp stop by Abdelaziz. See why he's so highly rated, Emil Vitboy. Wonderful footwork, just dancing away from a couple of defenders and getting a firm strike off. It's a good stop though by Abdelaziz. He was caught late there, and referee has played advantage. This is Stevens, perhaps a second chance here for Stevens, clips it through, and Abdelaziz off his line quickly, free. He's going to go check on the player who's down. For him, Al Najawi. Well, he was the one who caught his opponent, but then was caught himself by the studs. The young South African. Just in his follow through, certainly no malice intended. This was Vitboy just moments before. Laziz getting enough on it, and well, the ball could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for Egypt, it more or less stuck to him, and the Egypt keeper. One of those where it could have struck his back, or just somewhere where he wasn't fully aware where the ball was. It could have trickled over his own line, but wasn't the case on that occasion. So still deadlocked at 3 apiece. Malondo giving South Africa the first minute leads, but 2 goals from Anas Rushdie turn the game on its head before Hamza Abdel Karim got a third, but a couple of penalties from there. Boloko as his back level. This is Atia. Stevens. Rushdie. Now Jowie is back on the field. He does well, Bandari, not once but twice there. Just snuffing out that South African break. Adawi. And Jowie goes down. It's the free kick, and gets on with it quickly towards Adawi. Farid can't get there in time. Vitboy, space ahead of him. Vitboy, let's bounce straight back to him. Fortunate break there, potentially. Vitboy lays it off, and it's blocked, and it looked to be a painful one as well for Adawi. As the play carries on, it'll be a corner for South Africa. It's Omar Kamal, in fact, not Adawi. Struck in a sensitive area. Boloko had the attempt, looking for his hat-trick and a goal that would give South Africa the lead once more. So Abdul Rahman Mano is going to be the first player brought on by either coach this evening. To this point, both resisting temptation. Waiting until the 70th minute, Ahmed El Kas before making his first change. with the Al Ahly youngsters. Amano. Just gonna have to wait though a little longer as the corner is delivered and juggled but held by Abdelaziz. Angled kick upfield, picks out Rushdie. Now Atia, support to his right. This is Farid, Atia once more. Farid, first time ball in. And the header from Palmer. Tapo. Stevens. Stevens finds Boloko. Boloko. Now Vitboy cuts it back onto his right. Vitboy hammers home. A brilliant finish from Emil Vitboy as South Africa have regained the lead. Well, he has just looked at a touch above Emil Vitboy. Wonderful composure. Just seems to have that little bit of extra time. And shifted it back onto his right foot and hammered it past Omar Abdelaziz. Boloko drew the attention of a couple of defenders and then picked out Vitboy to his left and turned inside of Adawi. Then drilled beyond Abdelaziz. Oh, he's looked a threat throughout, but he finally has his goal as well. There's South Africa back in front. Well, he has come on now, Abdulrahman Mano. It's a nasty clash of heads. Let's say. And I think it's Omar Kamal. Some concern here for both players. So I hope for the best that they're both okay. The stretcher is out there if needed. Well, he looks to be okay. Kamal back on his feet. Anas Rushdie, the scorer of the first two goals, the player who made way for Abdulrahman Mano. Question is let's say going to be able to carry on here. That looks rather doubtful at the moment. Head injury certainly not something you want to take any risks with. These players just starting out, hopefully long careers ahead of them. So their welfare really has to be the first thing taken into account in situations like this. He's been loaded onto the stretcher by the medical team, and presumably that's going to force Vela Kumalo's hand here into making a change. I just had that feeling after a frenetic first half that it was either going to take a touch of brilliance or perhaps a mistake to swing this game one way or the other. And right now it was a bit of brilliance from Emil Wittboy, living up to his reputation with a wonderful finish after creating a bit of space for himself inside the Egypt area. See, it receives a nice hand, a round of applause after being removed. Bagang Maswane. Pometse Sokoto will be the man to replace him. Ahmad and Mohamed Hamad, in fact, has entered the fray here for Egypt. Involved right away, the substitutes tried to pull it back. Sokoto was cut out. They keen to just pad the lead here, South Africa. Well, really unfortunate for Maswanwe. Thing only come on a few minutes ago for Sive Palmer, suffering that nasty injury. And having to go off. Here is Stevens trying to set Wittboy on his way. So it's Egypt head back in the other direction. Abdul Karim again getting up above Mokokosi. Didn't really have anyone else around him in terms of support. This is Sokoto. Stevens tried to get a little too fancy there, perhaps. Hannah. Now Atia spread out towards Hannah Jowie. Seemed to slip there, Hannah Jowie. All right, let's see. Farid, and well, that's not going to help their cause. South Africa looking to their opening game. That's an under-17 Africa Cup of Nations for the first time in 5 attempts. 2 draws and 2 defeats. Their previous 4 tournament openers. Can they hold on here? Farid looking for a better delivery this time. Lays it off to Anajawi. A pirouette from Farid Anajawi. He's able to keep it in play, but rolls through towards Otapo. Here is Stevens. Fit boy. Quite enough on the pass there, Fit boy again. And to cross it towards the far post was Sokoto. Stevens. Mangeni from range and flashes over the top of Omar Abdelaziz's goal. Stevens nosing out to Dowie. Kokosi. Degri. Hannah, the 2 Egyptian substitutes, and it's a rather ordinary ball as he was searching for Abdul Karim. Stevens, cleverly done. Fit boy from the right now. Coming away with it is Bandari. Scoops it towards Hannah. Sokoto doing his best to apply the pressure, force him backwards. Bandari. Dowie. Altia. Being badgered here, but actually able to pick out a teammate. It will just be a throw for Egypt. As time is ticking away. Now Hamad. First time ball in towards Abdul Karim. A couple of half-hearted appeals there for a handball as the defender fell to the ground. This time the whistle does go. The referee has allowed the play to float by and large this evening. South African trainer back out again to check on the youngsters. This was the handball appeal, but it definitely came off the legs of Bakamoso Mokokosi. Bulele Tlekadler, the number 15 for South Africa. It's as if it's about to be brought on by Velo Kumalo. let's say it's on the sideline at the moment. Madawi, Atia, Hamad, Atia. Pull back towards Hamad, and South African defence just doing its job. Fit boy, Stevens. Ahmed Ehab warming up on the touchline for Egypt, number 25. Fit boy, ball bounces his way. Stevens just to keep on the possession here. South Africa, and Abdul Karim clattering into Mokokosi. Well, it's somehow found a way through, but the strike from Matapo is straight at Abdulaziz. And more changes here. And it's Selwyn Stevens whose numbers up on the fourth officials' boards. It's a nice hand as he makes his way off, and Ahmed Ehab also coming on for Egypt. So Lekedla on for South Africa. Ehab replaces Ibrahim Anajawi. And crossfield to Al-Shami. This is Adawi. The curling effort well wide in the end. Just team the free kick near Boloko. Well, fifth would surely just about have wrapped up the points for South Africa, but Tapo couldn't beat Abdulaziz. Kokosi. Ahmed Ehab is player penalised for a shove on Mutapo. Kokosi. Fit boy. And it's another free kick. This time he's fouled by Shami. Again, there's going to be a reasonable amount of time added on, you would have to think, after the nasty injury sustained by Nebergang Swane. South Africa trying to make certain of the points, so looking for that fifth, but Egypt hoping for a late equaliser. Ehab squares it towards Hamad. This is Hannah. Hannah, dangerous looking ball in, and it's eluded everyone, including the goalkeeper. Abdul Karim threw himself at it. It might, that will be a corner, judging by the reaction. They came to try and claim Marake. Didn't really get anywhere near it, and Abdul Karim couldn't get a touch on it either. It's been a bit of a shaky performance from the South African keeper. So it's going to be a corner. It's going to be taken by El Shami, and at 6 minutes, 5 perhaps. Oh, it is 6. Was right at initially. What's the number up on the boards? Ahmed El Kas hoping his team can somehow salvage something here in a time added on. Certainly enough of it to give them hope. Hannah and Shami sweeps it forwards, and here comes South Africa. Fit Boy, if he gets there first, this could be interesting, but it's now covered by El Degui. Shami. Can South Africa see it out here? El Shami, the ball in. It was well, a couple of players had a chance to deal with it for South Africa. Neither of them able to properly do so. Another cross delivered in. This time, the header away is a better one. But back it comes once more, and it's been completely missed by Sokoto. Hannah. El Shami, another cross, again headed away, skips over the head of Fit Boy. He's suited the free kick. Well, he stands to be the match winner, Emil Fit Boy. Much of the talk has been about him in this South African squad, and it's his goal that has them on course for thrilling 4-3 victory as it stands. It's been pinched back by Mohamed Hamad. Now Atia scoops it into the area, and Abdul Karim slices it over. Oh, they get a better chance than that. Did just about enough the defence to put off Abdul Karim. El Degui still going strong. Hamza El Degui. Ahab. Shami. Now with Mana. Another cross into the box. Just hammered away. Anyway, we'll do really now for South Africa. Kept in play by Abdulaziz. It's flicked on, but again, no way through. Shami. The ball into the box. Keeper comes again. Doesn't hold on to it, but gets enough on it to just about make it safe. And that's a difficult one here, and Abdelaziz was rather sold down the river by his defender, and Boloko was caught by the goalkeeper. Score of 2 goals in the first half for Neo Boloko. Was fouled by Abdelaziz, who is booked for his troubles, and it'll be a free kick for South Africa, just outside the area. That was a ball that just hung up like that, that enabled Hamza Abdel Karim to score Egypt's third, which had them 2 goals in front. This time another bouncing ball causing problems for Egypt on this occasion. And Boloko just being checked over after sustaining that blow. Well, could Abdelaziz perhaps be in further trouble here? Surely that's what the referee is going to have another look at. It is indeed a red card check. Much to the dismay of one of the Egyptian members of the coaching staff, and came flying out Abdelaziz. It was definitely reckless, and no doubt that he made contact with Boloko as well. Unless they're going to be all pain here for Egypt, and in particular their goalkeeper. Yellow card is rescinded, and it's going to be red for Omar Abdelaziz. He's at the very least going to miss the game on Thursday against Burkina Faso. You have to feel for him a bit. He's put into an awkward position by his defender. Came out trying to lend a hand, but in the end has just made things worse. Has got himself sent off, and Amadou Cass left scratching his head. It was a poor header back by Aldegui. That really was the root of the problem. Abdelaziz attempting to clean things up, but instead he wipes out Neo Boloko. And we'll watch the remainder of this match from the dugout, as Egypt is making a very late goalkeeping change. Having difficulties getting the shirt the right way round. Heading for the tunnel, in fact, Abdelaziz. Well, it's Bendari who looks like he's going to go in goal here. But surely he's going to wear a different colour shirt just to distinguish himself from the rest of the team. Putting on another layer, and referee happy enough with that, so he will have to face this free kick. What could be the final act of this game in Casablanca. 7 goals so far, another one for South Africa. And the results would certainly be put beyond any doubt. Fitboy potentially with a chance to wrap things up. It's deflected behind, and there will still be time for this corner. South Africa looking to take a short one. And it's all over. South Africa have prevailed in a 7-goal thriller. The first goal came inside the opening 60 seconds. They then trailed by 3 goals to 1, but hit back with a couple of penalties from Neo Baloko. And then a terrific 4th goal from Emil Fitboy. Final score here, South Africa 4, Egypt 3. So for the first time in 5 trips to the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations, South Africa have won their opening game. And it was certainly a roller coaster ride at the Stade Labi-Zaouli. After taking a very early lead, they were then put on the back foot by Egypt, who looked to be in command, but gave away a couple of penalties. The young Pharaohs and Baloko, the twice converted from the spot before a bit of magic from Fitboy in the second half proved to be the difference. Omar Abdelaziz, the Egyptian keeper, had a late yellow card, upgraded to red for a reckless challenge on Neo Baloko.